Good evening. I planted 15 cabbage plants, cabbage seedlings for fall. I'll cue my husband harassing me about how many I'm going to plant now.
What had happened is I started planting, and then there was some more room, and there were more plants. So I just put them in here, and I tucked some over there, and then they were all gone. So we said 20, but there's 25.
Can't even deny it.
Uh-huh. I like how you asked the question, though.
Well, this one's legitimate because there's only so much room.
Okay. Continue.
Well, your peppers are staying in, the tomatoes are staying in, the sweet potatoes aren't ready to harvest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can find room.
There it is.
I recorded myself planting it, but I haven't edited it. And something I've found with doing YouTube, sometimes I record the stuff and I go to throw a video together and it just doesn't, it's kind of like sometimes when you sit down to write an essay and what you have written down just doesn't feel like it's going to fly or that it fits together. So sometimes I shoot a video and it just doesn't feel like it's interesting enough or whatever. But I don't know if I'll get it posted or get it edited to post, but I planted cabbage seedlings and they looked really good. And I had one that kind of like disappeared. So I'm like, oh, I'll just replant that one. And then last night I came out and I have half of them have disappeared. So what I believe is happening is I'm getting hit by cutworms. Where like if your plant just looks like somebody came through with a pair of scissors and just snipped it, that's cutworms. I don't know exactly how they eat the plant or whatever, but they wrap around the stem and snap it off. So I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to go to each plant that's still in, and I'm going to put a toothpick close to the stem, 2 or 3, kind of surrounding it. So that way if the cutworm tries to wrap around, these are kind of protecting it, and see if that helps. And I'm also going to replace the seedlings that got snipped by the cutworm and put toothpicks around them. So let me show you one. I've got a couple plants with some sun damage. I think I had some pots with multiple plants in them and I pulled them apart and planted them, and I think some of them, depending on where they sat in the pot, got a lot more shade because of the bigger seedling next to it. So some of them have a little bit of sunburn and some of them are just snipped off by the cutworm. So let's take a look. All right, so here is a nice seedling, a little bit of bug damage, but I don't worry too much about that. Here's another nice seedling, and then here is nothing, zero, zilch. There was a plant here, and there is what remains of that plant. Look, it's been like, it looks like it's been cut twice. And then coming here, this is the one that's got some sun damage. I think it's gonna be okay. It's just kind of, you know, us after we've been in the, you know, in all winter long. That one looks beautiful. And again here, this one looks great. That one looks great. This one right here has actually been snipped twice because that's the one that disappeared on me and I replaced it and it got hit again. And then here is where it gets ugly. Like right here, here's my stem. Like it just looks like somebody came in with a pair of scissors and snipped it. Same here, same here. And then there were 3 more, same thing. So that's 7 of my 15 plants gone. And I guess if you count the one I've replaced twice, 8 of 15. So we're a little over half. So what we're gonna do is right here, I'm gonna take some toothpicks. See if my tripod can sit like that without tipping over. What do you guys think? Okay, and so I'm going to come here right at the base, put a toothpick down there, toothpick here. I think I'm going to do 3. I think it only needs 2, but you know what? I don't want to think that it only needs 2, do 2, and have them get hit again. So I think, I read this. I've never tried this before. This is new. But I think like if the cutworm goes around the base, it's going to have to snag one of those toothpicks and it won't be able to cut it off. That is what I believe will happen. And let's hope that that works. All right, I just went to one of my pots and dumped them to start separating the seedlings. And this little guy was in the pot. Look. Children, husbands, and dogs tend to get loud when you're trying to do things that people need to hear. I'm actually going to take a picture of this and look it up on like Google Images or whatever and see. Do you think, hey babe, do you have a second or not? Yeah. Do you think this is a cutworm? I was going to take a picture.
I've never seen one.
Okay. But it's just,
I don't know if I've ever heard of them before I met you.
Oh. But look, I dumped a pot.
Could be.
So.
It's definitely something we don't want in the garden.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is definitely going to the chickens. So yeah, I'm going to take a picture and then look it up on Google Images and just see what this guy is. And then he is going to become some chicken food. All right, so not that Google Images are foolproof, but I'm pretty sure that this guy is a cutworm. I guess it's the caterpillar from a certain moth. Like I said, he's going to be becoming chicken food. So I was not super disciplined with my seedlings. I did have them outside. I did not have them netted. So it is quite possible that I caused this problem in a way by not having them netted and having the moth lay its eggs on my seedlings. Like maybe when I transplanted them, this one just happened to fall out, but there was others that were smaller. Here, let me see if I can show you guys. Drop in. Come on, buddy. There you go. Oh, there, Goldie's got him. Now this is the entertaining part. A lot of times when they get a caterpillar, oh no, I thought they can't stop to eat them because somebody will steal them. So they just chase each other around carrying said tasty treat. Oh no, somebody ate it. Was that good? All right. So now I at least sort of know what they look like. Kind of have an eye out, but I think they camouflage really well, especially if they're smaller than that guy was. Learn something every day. All right, so I transplanted I don't know, 7 or 8 cabbages. I put toothpicks around all of them. This isn't a tried and true. This is something I've read somewhere. Maybe it's tried and true by somebody, but it hasn't been tried and true for me yet. But it just makes sense because if there's something there that's blocking them from being able to wrap around the stem, hopefully that means they're not going to just snip off all of my cabbage seedlings. Thankfully, I planted too many. Oh, the light back there, beautiful. There's something about the light this time of evening that's just absolutely magical. All right, I'm going to show you what the cabbage bed looks like. I planted some of my lettuce seed that I took straight off the bolted lettuce plants. I'm seeing that germinating over here, which is exciting. I want to show you some of my sweet potatoes. One, that they're trying to take over the entire world, but also that you can see some of the sweet potatoes at top, which is kind of fun to see, and just wonder what it looks like beneath the surface. And I don't know, we'll look at a couple things around the garden, and it's time to head in. Thank you for anybody that's been watching the videos. I am probably going to be cutting back to once or twice a week. I am a school teacher. It's time to shift gears. So not as much time for shooting and editing videos, so probably look for videos just once or twice a week from me for right now, and then we'll see as the year progresses how things fit in. Okay, let's take a look at some stuff. Okay, so my smaller seedlings, I just put 2 around, and then the bigger seedlings I put 3. So those at the end, I think these, like this row, so these last 2 rows got completely taken out by the cutworms, and that one as well. So those are all replaced, and all of them have toothpicks around them. How much do you want to bet next year I end up stabbing myself with a toothpick at some point, because I'm going to forget they're there and I'll be digging through the soil with my hand like I always do and stab myself with a toothpick? What do you think, babe? I'm going to end up stabbing myself with a toothpick because I'm going to forget that they're here next year and be digging holes with my hand?
Well, no, you're going to step on.
Oh, that, yeah.
In your bare feet. Because your shoes have been over there in the garden for 2.5 months.
I'm trying to grow them.
Oh, is that what
I'm trying to grow new sneakers.
Oh. We're upcycling?
We're upcycling.
Okay.
Husband's harassing me for always being in bare feet. I'm one of those people. I always have the ground in dirt on my fingers this time of year, and it's also on my feet. There's something about the freedom of bare feet in the soil, hands in the soil, that just soothe my soul. Not so much my husband. Isn't the lighting beautiful right now? Like, it feels like
It's raining a little bit.
yeah, it's like misting a little bit. The sky is really pretty. It's like gray and it's pretty cool. All right, I was going to show you stuff. I get sidetracked very easily. Don't I, baby?
Absolutely.
I said I get sidetracked very easily.
Yeah.
Do you want to come in and expand on that answer at all, or are you afraid you'll get in trouble? I'll hand him the camera and let him go hide and disclose how easily I get distracted. You running away?
Something like that. I figure I'd just come the way that has all the dog poop.
Oh, so you want to step in the dog poop?
Stay out swinging distance.
Here. You can hold this and answer how easily I get distracted if you wish.
How the stereotypical squirrel, shiny, taters, maters. That's pretty much it. Green, seedlings, birds, butterflies, good bugs, bad bugs, rainbows.
Make it sound like I'm complete ditz.
You started it, I didn't.
Anything else you want to add? No. You gonna run away now?
Maybe.
Give me that. He's running away. All right. So, sweet potatoes, squirrels. Just look at this. That light is just amazing. Yeah, squirrel. All right, so I have sweet potatoes in a whole bunch of different places. Hoping for a really good sweet potato harvest this year, because last year they stored so well. I actually have a few small sweet potatoes left in the crate that I could cook tomorrow, and we harvested last September, like towards the end of September. So they've been sitting in a crate in our basement since then, and I'm pretty sure we could eat them tomorrow if we wanted to. We just haven't been doing sweet potatoes as much with all the fresh garden produce. All right, let's take a look here. All right, so one, I'm going to zoom out and show you sweet potatoes up the fence. They're through the other side. Nala has definitely eaten some, going out that way, going out this way, every which way. But what I like to do is start kind of getting down in here and seeing, okay, where do we have some sweet potatoes? I actually covered this one with some hay because I didn't want it to burn. But look at that. That's going to be a beautiful sweet potato in there. But I'm just keeping that covered out of the sun. I think that's the only one that I've seen in this space right here. And also, this was my experiment that I did for those that are like kind of growing in containers. So this is a bag of organic potting soil back here that has 4 sweet potato slips planted in it. So they're growing beautifully. I'm really curious to see what we're doing. Now this one, this was garden soil, and this was only $7 because I tried that and potting soil to compare. Something happened to the sweet potatoes that were at this end, and they like had something, like they died. They got slimy and gross, and these are still growing. Like this one's not looking bad. I'm not real optimistic that's going to produce a lot of sweet potato. This one has really only put off these 2 leaves since I planted it last July, or in July. So that obviously didn't work, or doesn't, I'm not assuming it's not going to work great. But again, it's not the pot, it's not the soil's fault. It wasn't really made to be just a container on its own. It's made to be put in a garden bed. I didn't put it in a garden bed. I tried to use it as a container. It's not really working that well, but it's not what it was intended for. I just wanted to see, for $7, could I grow sweet potatoes in that? I think the answer is no. Alrighty. Let's look over here. Okay, the hard thing is getting through all these leaves with the camera. So there's a top to a sweet potato right there. Let's see, there's another one in here. Let's see if I can get the leaves out of the way. And there's kind of the top to another one. I don't know. And then there's a couple more places. So it's really cool. The root vegetables, I think, are always kind of like getting a present when you go to harvest them, because you really don't know what you're going to get until you start moving the soil. Something interesting I found this year, or I'm curious about, I planted peas, and I planted peas in 3 different places in the garden. In compost, I put a layer of compost down like I do when I plant in the fall. I put a layer of compost down, plant in that layer of compost. I have 1 pea that started to germinate, and it's kind of like in a holding pattern. I threw in my green stock over here, I threw just some pea seeds in the top. Like I had some stuff that wasn't doing great, and I either just cut it out or planted beside it. Those peas are this tall. I don't know if it's a moisture thing, like the potting soil holds moisture better for germination, but I don't know why that is. Obviously, I'm giving it more time. We'll see. The light is so pretty right now. Squirrel. The other day, this is another video that I don't know if I'm going to get around to posting. Luke asked me when I was going to cut the buckwheat. Like, it's so tall. It's fallen over in the rain, and it's so pretty. I really do need to cut it down before it like reseeds itself. But when I come out here, there's so many pollinators on it. It's so, oh my gosh, look at that sky. There's so many pollinators on it that I just don't want to remove it, because it's fantastic for the bees and the wasps. And I actually just saw, that's hopefully a storm coming. I saw a wasp like eating a caterpillar off of my Brussels sprouts the other day, and I'm like, well, that's fantastic. Like the buckwheat's drawing in those wasps, and they're eating one of my caterpillars. That's fantastic. That's what I want. That's, balance. So I don't know. I do need to cut it, but I just love it so much and it's so pretty. I don't know if I can. All right, and then here, let me see if I can show you some lettuce. Now it's itty bitty, but these are coming up. I might insert some footage. Like I just came out here. There's some. I came out here actually with a little glass bowl, and I had some seeds, some of the seed heads from the lettuce seed that I just harvested. I just came through and I cut the heads off, the bolted lettuce, and put it in a paper bag, and then I cut the rest and gave it to the chickens. And then I came out here with this bowl. Again, my husband's picking on me for being a squirrel, for getting sidetracked. This is still out here, but I just broke the seeds apart into the bowl, sprinkled it here, and planted. I watered first, just because sometimes I think the little tiny seeds, it's nice for the soil to be damp first, so you don't like instantly move the seed with the water as soon as you put it in the ground. And they're already germinating, which is pretty fun. All right. I think it's time to go in and edit and contemplate what needs to happen tomorrow in terms of getting the school year started. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for coming along on our videos, and I'll see you in the next one.